Alright, what is up YouTube? HPJ here, and good day to you all. So, I'm gonna switch it up a bit because there's still issues with the audio on my computer, so I'm gonna be trying to do this OG style, get that nice good camera and get that nice good lighting together and then just do it off of a regular cell phone. So yeah, previously I did Harpie deck profile for for this month, but the audio was messed up because there's something wrong with my mic situation on on my actual laptop. So I don't know how I'm gonna work it out further on, but I'm gonna try to do my best. But we're gonna be here for the Harpies today because it's a Harpie deck profile. More or less, if anything, the deck itself is pretty silly. It's going through its metamorphosis. I'm just changing up anything that makes me feel like it's something solid. So for this variation, yeah, I'm just gonna be doing something very solid. It's something just there. So yeah, I am currently testing out another build of this at the time of this recording because I wanted to see what announces there. But yeah, things are where they stand. So, all right. With that said, and then while we go ahead and we get things together. Oh, actually, before I go any further, there are some things I just wanted to let you guys know. I have my Harpie Lady Metal Fill Center from the lovely Mana Moon. If you guys haven't already seen, go check out her channel. Not her. Does she have a channel? She probably has a channel. If not, she has a lot of social media links. You definitely can go check those out. Twitter, Instagram, and all of that, where you can get tons and tons of things. The only thing I didn't get from her was um the Harpie deck box. That the Harpie inspired deck box is just so fucking gorgeous because it's literally it's green and pink. And it's like Harpie Lady 1, 2, and 3. It's very Harpie inspired. Kind of similar to how my Mastodon deck box looks like, but it's more of a tower instead. Like it's really pretty. You definitely have to go check it out on her and look. But I don't have one, sadly. And then I have these oversleeves from her as well, that are inspired by Harpie Lady. The emblem crown that the Harpies pet dragons wear, and then the rose lip with the feathers of, I believe this is Harpie Lady One's feathers, that are there. So, yay. Alright, now that I've gotten that out the way, why don't we go ahead and get into the deck profile. So, if you hear any background noise, my apologies. This is simply because, well, I am recording from a phone. So, starting off, we have triple copies of Harpie Perfumer, triple copies of Harpie Channeler, triple Harpie Lady 1, double Harpie Harpist, double Harpie Oracle, double Harpies Pet Dragon for some fire, one Harpie Lady Sisters, let's move this over just a bit, and triple Ash Blossom Enjoy a Spring. Actually, let's bring this up just a bit too, that way we can see everything. Also, it's a bigger scale. So, alright, that is all of the monsters. Let's go into the spells. We have triple Hysteric Sign, triple Elegant Egotist, double Harpie Hunting Ground with one copy of Harpie's Feathered Esther, one Harpie's Feathered Rest, one Alluring Mirror Split, one Triangle Ecstasy Spark, double Wing Rectalital, and double Swallow's Nest. Alright, that is the spells. Moving on into the traps. We have the triple Harpie's Feather Storm and the double Hysteric Party. Alright, then from there, we have our extra deck, and that consists of 2 copies of the Cyber / Harpie Lady, 1 copy of Harpie Conductor, 1 Great Fly, 1 Winnie the Wind Charmer Verdant, 1 Havis Vulgar, the Desperate Doom Eagle, 1 Appaloosa, the Bow of the Goddess, 1 Tri-Brigade Vergite, the Burden Blossom, 1 IP Masquerina, 1 Mech Knight Crusadia Aeromax, Aramax, Evermax, sorry, not Arvamax, Aramax. 1 Harpie's Pet Phantasmal Dragon, 1 Lightning Chidori, 1 Icy Zero Fine, 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Drago's Head, and 1 AA Zeus Sky Thunder. So that wraps up the main and the extra deck. So why don't we go ahead and we go through. So starting off, of course, is the Harpie Lady of Choice. Um, the Harpie archetype itself just flourished with beautiful, and awesome cards. And it starts off with the triple copies of Harpie Perfumer. Perfumer's ability is, of course, to add a spell or a trap that specifically lists the Harpie Lady Sisters in its text from your deck to your hand. If you control a level 5 or higher Harpie monster when you activated this effect, hold on one second. Okay. So with Harpie Perfumer, yeah, you're able to search for spells and traps that will specifically list Harpie Lady Sisters in its text. Ironically enough, yeah, we don't have a lot. We have a lot of things that hysteric scientists cannot search for, and that's why Perfumer and her counterpart Oracle definitely help out in that sense, because we definitely do not have a lot of resources that were at the time able to pull those cards from the deck. They were only able to be pulled from the deck if they had Harpie in their name. So luckily now we have a monster that can do that. And I definitely suggest running 3 Perfumer, because you want to get to Egotist as fast as possible. You want to get to your Hunting Grounds, your Alluring Mirror Splits, all of those cards with Harpie Lady Sisters in this text to your hand as fast as possible, so you can use those in. Also give some other cards some chance of reprieve, or utilize them as backup. Alright, so moving from there, we're now going to go into Harpie Channeler. Definitely another 3-of. Harpie Channeler's ability to discard a Harpie card from your hand to summon a Harpie monster from your deck definitely helped with this deck, because it just, like, she's the summoner monk of the Harpie archetype. I know we're going to put this down just a bit more. And very much utilized for that ability. Actually, let's scoot this over. Then we'll move this back just a bit too. There we go. So yeah, definitely use your Harpie channelers as much. This is probably the biggest target of the deck that you're going to be getting. If not her, you're going to get Perfumer. And even then, you can just search for Perfumer off of channeler and special summon her to the board. And then that's at least 2 monsters for a summon. 3 if you get Ego. And then you can go into your bigger material monsters, primarily your Phantasmal Dragon, if anything. Now, moving on from that. Oh, the other thing I want to talk about with Harpie Channeler is, of course, her ability to change her level from 4 to 7 when you control a dragon-type monster. And that utilizes the other options of Link Exceed monsters you can use, which are all the 7s in utility, which basically makes Dragon even more viable. So, moving on from there, my choice for Harpie Lady is Harpie Lady 1. You can use, of course, the Cyber Harpie Lady. You can use Vanilla Harpie Lady if you choose. The thing about this is just that Harpie Lady 1 just gives the additional attack strength, so if you want to poke into monsters with some of your wind monsters, you definitely just spark it around with Harpie Lady 1. We don't have a Cyber Dragon-esque monster, which is something that a lot of players have said, besides the typical hysteric card searcher, which, like, if that was going to happen, we would have had one by now, and at this point, if the new wave does it, it does it. But I'm pretty sure it's going to have a lot of locks to it. Like, you can only play Harpie monsters for the turn. For the rest of the turn, only Harpie cards can be played and stuff like that. But I honestly think having a Cyber Dragon type of Harpie monster would definitely fit. And not one of those, if you have a Harpie on the field type of situations. No, I mean a monster that says, when your opponent controls a monster and you don't special summon this card, and then go into your plays from there. That would be very useful to the Harpies. In addition to about a handful of other things, a lot of legacy decks definitely need to survive themselves. I mean, Blue Eyes gets it all the time. I don't understand why Harpies can't get it. Just putting that out there. Anyway, moving on from there, my 2-ofs are Harpie Harpist, who really just searches for your other Harpie monsters. I really don't even utilize her normal summon effect. And if anything, that just works with Conductor ability to bounce back cards itself. Then we have Harpie Oracle, and we have Harpie's Pet Dragon for some Fire Blast. So we're going to review to the way, which I only run 2 of these anyway. So if you try to just run the 1, that's for you. And her targets are just searchable anyway. But Harpie Oracle and Harpie's Pet Dragon for some Fire. So for some Fire and Harpie Oracle work literally simultaneously. When you have a monster on the field, a Harpie monster on the field at a particular level, you can easily summon both keys to the board. For Dragon, it's any Harpy that's level 6 or lower. For Oracle, it's any Harpy that is level 5 or higher. So simply just by having a Harpy monster already on the board, you can easily drop these two for freebies if they're in your hand. The big that is sequentially that big of Ra is that there are some Cyber Dragon-esque monsters for Harpies, but we would like to have more. Just because we don't have stuff like Medulce Saloon, where you can easily just abuse an additional normal summon or something like that, that would be great. And, sometimes you always use cards like Swallow's Nest and Summon Storm to bring out a monster, because most of the time you're hoping that something can already just drop on its own. So, yeah, that is just the sense. But the big benefits to both of these is Oracle can retrieve your spells and cast that specifically as Harpy Lady Sisters in its text from the graveyard. While she's not as triggered like Harpy Perfumer, where she can do it automatically, she has to wait to the end phase. But Dragon over here can send any Wingibius monster to your graveyard when it's sent to the grave, from the field to the grave. So you can link it off and then summon to the field. Send Windy Beast monsters to the field. So you can send Harpies from your deck to the graveyard. Tri Brigade Nerval, because Tri Brigade used it with Nerval to send it to the grave. And some more was also a contestant to that. Even Lurlisk, I believe, used it, because Lurlisk had a lot of monsters that can pull each other as an engine. So, yeah. Alright, we're moving on from those. And the only other Harpy monster to talk about at this point is Harpy Lady Sisters. And I'm only running one Sisters because I don't want to break into Sisters multiple times. I think the thing about Sisters is that it's just an easier monster to run off of Elegant Egotists without having to worry about so many problematic issues that we don't have any big monsters to make big plays with. I think Sisters, literally Sisters just didn't have the clause of being only special summon first by Elegant Egotist. Sisters would definitely be more viable. Probably just the more vanilla of things, but still viable for some uses, because you can at least use it with Ego to help you get the other effects of the Harpy support cards going on. Like Perfumer's Double Search, the double draw from Feather Rest, special summons of both Oracle and Dragon. So there's at least some viability there. Alright, and then my hand trap of choice is Ash, which you can easily do whatever variation you would like to with your hand trap of choice. You can run Droll and Lock, you can run, if you're OCG, you're running Maxi, most likely, and just the rest of things that you can run in it if you choose to. But Ash gets some work in. Alright, moving from there, let's go on into our spells. Starting off, of course, is Hysteric Sign. Your access to Elegant Egotist a lot faster. Or multiple Elegant Egotists when you start playing around with Perfumer and stuff like that. Easy to be discarded and popped through your own card effects, so that you can in phase search for 3 cards that have Harpy in their name. And trust me, the archetype has a plethora of those cards to easily search for, thanks to Hysteric Sign and just the overwhelming amount of stuff that we've gotten. Feather Storm, Harpy Chandler, Harpy Harpis. I mean, the list goes on, and those are just the big 3 that you easily get off the Sign. So, definite 3 of. Another 3 of course, is Elegant Egotist, which allows you to special summon either your Harpy Ladies or your Harpy Lady Sisters from your deck or hand to the field. Really just more of a swarm. The swarm is really what you get out of Egotist, and I definitely must have a 3. I don't care what anyone says, unless you're playing hybrid decks. Even then, those run like 2 or 3 themselves, just because you want to get to the Harpies as soon as possible, so you have more cards on the field to synchro, exceed, link, all those things that you need to do, or just have the more bodies on the field for the bigger options. So, moving on from there is our spell and trap removal, and that is, of course, Harpy's Hunting Ground and Harpy's Feather Duster, which, like I said, spell and trap removal in one. Your field spell or your normal spell, and both can easily be searched out through the cards in the deck. Then from there we have Harpy's Feather Rest, Alluring Mirror, Split, and Triangle, Ecstasy Spark, the triple support cards that have Harpy Lady Sisters in their name. Now with Ecstasy Spark, I'm really just running this because it just beats up the Harpie Lady Sisters, and any lone traps are running around, it will help deal with. The Lori Mirror split, I just run for the ability to destroy it, to put other harpy monsters from the grave back onto the field. Rare occasion if I ever use the battle effect. And then Harpie's Feather Rest is just basically the Harpie's Pot of Avarice, where I can just recycle my Harpies in the grave, send them back into the deck, and then draw off of that. If I have the level 5 or higher RB, then I'm drawing 2 instead of 1. And I don't care about being locked into wind as much as it would be a detriment because of the fact that there's so many various options. And I kind of want to fit those options in later on. But yeah, that is it for the single ofs. And then Ring Wekwatil for the draw power, and Swallow's Nest to swap in and out Harpies to get over things. Very useful in that sense when you're dodging hand traps. Alright, so that is it for the spells. Now on to the trap cards. And there's a very small array of them, but of course the Infinite Feather Storm to deal with our opponent's monster effects. Easily searchable through Hysteric Sign. Great card to just overall use in a lot of decks. I mean, the biggest ones you've seen is Floanderies, using it in the competitive scene to take advantage of them being Winged Beast, and doing a eventually job of that. The other thing that I can honestly say about Feather Storm is that, well, now that Harpie's Feather Duster is in play, you don't have to feel too bad about setting this card because it's going to trigger both of its abilities and you're going to benefit from both of those. And a definite 3 of in your deck, trust me. Then we have Hysteric Party, which is here to just help with the swarm. And having all those having all those Harpies come back onto the field to do all types of different shenanigans is great, especially when you're just pissing your opponent off now that you have all these big beat sticks on the board. Alright, moving from there. Now we go into our extra deck. Extra deck is pretty simple. It's just an amalgamation of things. Of course, the Harpie's new boss monster, the Cyber/Harpie Lady, being able to return either Harpie monsters you control or your opponent's monsters back to the hand when effects are activated. A definite must-have to do a lot of interruption, because sometimes you don't need to negate to interrupt. You can just bounce stuff away and it interrupts things, which has been a viable resource to Harpies. If it's not bouncing it, it's destroying the spells and traps that are doing it. So definitely easy to get because you have so many ways into this. You know, Ego from the Perfumer, summoning, Channeler, getting another Harpie, and then bam, make this. And there you go. I mean, for a minute you thought it would be a Link monster, but no, it isn't. It's a Synchro. Too bad we don't have our own Synchro monster, because that definitely would have factored in. But, yeah, her ability, before I go any further, her ability allows you to make a Harpie monster into your tuner. So, you don't have to worry about that. Clause really would have been good early starts. Anyway, we have Harpie Conductor, which I'm just running a 1-of just for the simple fact that it's Harpie's Link monster. And there's still that utility of having her just help out with the Link climb into some other array of monsters there. Then we have our generic wind Link monsters. You know, Great Fly for the attack boost, Winnie to simply just snatch up some wind monsters and exceed there. Havas Vulgar can easily be replaced for anything with a vibe of common sense. I'm sorry, I don't like Havas Vulgar, and literally the only reason why it's here is because I need the 3. Otherwise, if Samorg was unbanned, I'd be running Samorg. And there's not a lot of Link 3 wind monsters that aren't outside bound to other things. So that's also its detriment to it being there, but it's here. And then there's Appaloosa, the Bow of the Goddess, which I love playing around with because you can easily make Appaloosa with the amount of things you have in your deck. Just as long as they're not originally, this is as long as they don't have to change to be Harpie Lady, then you're going to be perfectly fine. Because going to Appaloosa with a Cyber Slash and a Feather Storm definitely can help you turn things around, or at least get rid of things that you would not want to deal with. So that is it for them. Then just the generic Link monsters. We have Frigid, we have IP, and we have Crusadia. But you can play any variation of Link monsters that you would like in the categories and ranges of 2 to 3s to 4s. Because Harpies can easily get into those. And then for our Link for our Exceed monsters, because I keep saying Exceed, I guess I just wanted to get to our Exceed monsters. The OG Harpie package with your Phantasmal Dragon for the poke and the defense, Chidori for the removal, Zero Fine for the massive negates, Draco Sack making an appearance because we love those tokens. We really do love those tokens because those tokens can be very helpful when you're making link monsters and stuff like that, and just a big body as well. And then speaking of big bodies, we do got our boy Double Azu Sky Thunder for the massive removal. I don't have Typhoon. I love to have Typhoon, but I just don't have any because the move and everything. But hopefully, like I said earlier, once my situation and stuff is fully set, I'll be looking forward to TCG players so I can get some other cards. Especially now that the 25th anniversary stuff is out and they're like dirt ass cheap. I can definitely go get those. So, with that said and done, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for today's Harpie video. I hope you guys do enjoy it. I'll be trying to do as much of the editing as I possibly can once I'm done putting it on YouTube. But I do sincerely say thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Once everything gets finished up, I will definitely try to see what other things I can easily spend to do for you guys, because you guys rock. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel as it helps me out tremendously. You can hit the notification bell to be informed of when I upload more content to the channel. My socials are in the description box below. And with that said, thanks everyone for watching. HPJ signing out. Take care.